Right, let's do this.
All right, let's do this.
We're live.
Awesome.
Perfecto. Thanks for doing this for us.
Obviously.
So how do we pronounce your name properly?
So my name's actually Andrea.
Aldrea.
Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrea. Yeah.
And your last name?
Wheeler.
Wheeler.
But when
I wasn't sure, like is it Weiler or Wheeler?
Wheeler. Because when I moved to Montreal, no one could say my name right. So then I just say Drea.
Right.
Right? Everyone can say Drea.
Yeah.
But no one can say Andrea.
Huh.
It's true, I've never met another Wheeler in Montreal.
Not sure.
I'm the only Wheeler here, I think.
We could also say that you're the Beyonce of training, right?
Oh, that's really good.
That's good. You ever heard that?
No, but I like that. I offer that.
So you've just been this is what I seen on the social media. So you've just been announced from the Influencer of the Year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good. I didn't think I was gonna win, and then unfortunately I wasn't even there, and I just started getting all these messages. Drea, you won. I was like, what?
How do you get into that?
I don't know.
That's a little funny though. So you kind of like get invited to this.
So I was like in denial for the longest. I don't know where to put this. I feel like I could put it here for now. There you go. I was in denial for the longest because, unfortunately being an influencer has like a negative connotation to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I'm just posting what I want to post, talking what I want to talking about things I want to talk to, and I grew an audience, and these businesses wanted my audience to basically get brands out. But I'm lucky that I can say yes or no to things that I want to and don't want to do collab with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. And then from there, all this stuff happening about influencers, this and that, whatever. But influencers can make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I was shocked. I had like my first experience in San Francisco with some pretty like high level influencers, and they take this seriously.
Really?
Like traveling with their photographers.
Yeah.
Changing into multiple outfits a day.
Right.
On the bus.
Well,
serious.
In Chiang Mai, there was all these Japanese and Chinese people that were coming and having these suitcases.
It's crazy.
And they would change into the coffee shop
and change for their content.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fake when you think about it.
Yeah, when you think about it.
Yeah, and I remember them asking me, you only wore this outfit? And I remember saying, yeah.
Well, I only trained once.
And they were like, oh, okay. And then I just thought, well, we're only here for 3 days. Mm-hmm. They're like, no, but on Instagram, we're here for 3 months.
Right, like the Fire Festival thing.
Yeah.
You see that?
Basically, that's what it's like. But it's worse because they make it seem like they're in these locations for so long.
Yeah.
But it's only 3 days.
Yeah, or you could just reuse that for a little later.
Right?
But I think it's, like I heard this a couple times, that just the influencer model is just a new model of marketing. It's been here forever. Like... It maybe not into the same people, but celebrities have always been like icons. And...
Yeah, but what's interesting is that the celebrities are competing with the influencers now.
Oh, really?
Oh, 100%. Because I was talking to someone who's in high-level marketing in Europe, and they were basically saying that most of their budget goes to influencers now, and like that market, and their budget's millions of dollars. So some of these high-level influencers are making millions of dollars. So what happens is that they feel to the consumers that they're accessible. Like you can see an influencer at your local coffee shop or something like that. But a celebrity, they always have it to where they're so difficult, like they're not accessible.
Right.
So these companies are going more towards influencers because people are believing them. Because if they can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So now celebrities are competing with
because
influencers.
Yeah, but influencers aren't worth that much compared to like people that are in movies, or so they have a broader range of people, so they have a bit more. It's more spread out, maybe.
It's more spread out and it's more influence, not influence, but more of an audience. So like
Different types of audiences.
Yeah. So for instance, I love Beyonce. You know what I mean? And like if she post, I have notifications. She's the only person I have notifications for on my phone for Instagram. And, Beyonce posts something, and I'm like on my phone.
You'll check it.
However, maybe the person next to me is not a fan of Beyonce, but Beyonce's the only person that this company could afford to put their jewelry on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas companies can literally send it to me, send it to someone in Toronto, like multiple people here in Montreal, whatever, and their engagement is just, their audience is so much larger than just that one person.
Right. It just gets into that like that. But I mean,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
How the world is changing.
But I mean, there's also a paradigm between the influencers that actually have done something, and some that are just there for like the picture, like you said.
So that was my thing. My thing was just, it's going to sound wrong, but like I don't need it.
Yeah. And
I didn't want to have to walk in a room and only be known as that, because I have
other things that you accomplished in your life.
Well, my career.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's just, but for some people, if Instagram went off tomorrow,
they're off.
Oh, it's weird.
Right.
Like, I've asked them, what would you do if Instagram was gone tomorrow? And they were like, I do content, but then how would you compete with the big agencies? Mm-hmm. They wouldn't be able to compete.
Because they're putting 100% of their energy and their time into like one stream. Yeah. So
that's where I like.
And you've also been a celebrity trainer, right?
Yeah.
So do you still do that?
Yes and no. From time to time.
Right. Can you tell us who you trained?
I can't.
You can't? Oh, shit.
I think it's like actually... when people are... It's very interesting because people are like, why aren't you like all over the pictures and sending videos and stuff like that? That's actually not allowed.
Right.
Like, it's very rare that people are allowed to do that because they actually don't want to conflict with their main people in Los Angeles or New York or something like that. And I mean, obviously, if someone random was like, can I take a picture with you? They'd be like, yeah. But they don't really like that stuff.
No, exactly.
No, and also, they don't like their business out. Mm-hmm. So, but they're always in Montreal.
Interesting. There's always like there's two videos that I can remember, and one recently that just been posted with The Rock, and they were filming with his coach, or I'm not even sure if that's even true, right? Because the way that the video was filmed was super stagey.
Yeah.
And like I could tell, maybe some people can't tell, but like I can tell because that's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And it was just like talking of like what he was doing with The Rock, and it seemed like so much of a selling program.
That's it.
And Mark Wahlberg, same thing. Like a couple of years ago, when he started doing these movies where you needed to take a lot of muscle mass.
Yeah.
This guy was like training him, and like it didn't really look like he was. It was just weird.
It's very weird, and it's like there's always a reason why someone's there, but most of the time they really don't. Like that's their personal life. Like that's their time where they don't have to, like, be on someone's social media or something like that. Mm-hmm. The only ones who do that are the Kardashians. That's probably because they don't pay their trainers. It's just for exposure.
Do you know the story of Gary Vee with his trainers?
No.
So he had this trainer called Mike, and he used to train him for a very long time. And like he said to this guy, like, you can't train anybody else than me, right, for the whole year. And then that lasted a long time. And so that means like it's good money, right? Yeah. And he's going all around the world. And there's this new guy that started training him. And these guys, like, they're actually training only one person, but they've got super out of shape for like being around them all the time, right? Because they don't have time anymore. They're just like traveling and like having high stress levels.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. So like it's just weird. But they never post. They post a bunch of content. I follow both of those guys, Mike and Jordan Syatt in New York, and the guys never post a picture of Gary.
You get what I mean?
Never.
So when people are like, And like they can vocalize it because they're just with him.
Yeah.
But you can't put that shit out there.
I didn't know that though.
No, like you're under like pretty strict contracts and stuff like that, where like you can't say names, you can't say where, you can't say when. I can just say that I do it, but I can't say who.
Right. And it's really signed out, right?
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Most
Interesting.
people were like, just put them on this and that, whatever. I can't. The only person I was able to do that for was the Bond girl, the French girl, Bond. She was in town. She was just losing baby weight because she wasn't in town on set.
Right.
She had just like given birth. What's her name?
That's all.
She was like the most recent Bond girl, and I trained her. And the only reason I could was because she wasn't on contract for anything. It was and so everyone knew about her, and she was pretty fun. She stayed in touch actually.
Are they fun to train?
Some. It's just like every other person. You still have like
Jesus.
some are, but they're just normal people.
Right.
Nothing's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, they're artists.
Yeah.
Different character.
The only thing that becomes difficult is when you can't when they're not trying to lose, like when they're on set they can't lose or gain weight. They have to sustain, right? Because they've been fitted for these outfits months ago.
Yeah, and these roles.
These roles is actually pretty specific most of the time. Or maybe some people, the hardest thing I've is like watch someone have to gain weight while on set.
And does that make a lot of pressure?
Yeah, man. You're dealing with a multi-million-dollar liability, right? So
Yeah.
you got to get them or sustain, like, you can't do anything. So it's very particular. It makes my job very difficult, but it's cool because I'm always educating myself.
Yes.
Right?
But they're also motivated to do it because them as well are implicated in themselves, right? So it's like they know they also have that pressure.
Okay, I have to say in that sense they're probably the best clients I have because they're always on time. They're always in the moment and they're always giving you 100%.
That's probably why they are where they are right now, right?
100%.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you're also implicated in Bumble, Montreal? Are you still doing that? Yeah.
I am still doing it.
So I've been hearing a lot about this app overseas, actually, and a little bit more around here recently. And like what I've learned about it is like only women can write to the men or bit like show their interest. I don't know how like.
So it gives the women control, pretty
Right.
much. And
Okay.
it was one of the first apps is the first app that did it. It's pretty cool, but they have 3 platforms.
Okay.
So they have regular Bumble, the dating app.
Okay.
They have Bumble BFF. So Bumble BFF is basically like, so when you go on Bumble, they ask you which platform you want. Bumble BFF is where you can find a friend.
Oh.
So I wish I had that when I first moved to Montreal because I would have basically swiped to find a friend.
Wow.
And then they have
cool.
Bumble Biz, and Bumble Biz is for networking.
Okay.
And so you can swipe and like, I would have to say when I was in California, I was swiping Bumble Biz and the connections that you can make.
I didn't know
Bumble
that.
Biz in like certain cities, it's like crazy. CEO of Lyft was on there, chatting up with them like.
And he's also interested in people that are like you and
it's pretty
trainers.
cool.
And, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. He could also do that selection on his side.
Yeah.
Wow, that's all. I didn't know that. So
See?
So if we go back to the more of the part of the dating app, like compared to Tinder, it's the way more women empowering.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that was what the CEO and founder Whitney wanted to do. She wanted to give the power back to the women in the dating, and so that they can actually dictate what's happening.
And where is that? Where was that company founded? In the States?
In the States, California, obviously.
Okay. Silicon Valley?
Yeah.
Right. I had to.
It's so predictable.
So how what's like the outcome of that? Like what's your role into?
So they contacted me because so in Montreal we have two Montreal community managers. One of them, the one girl, sorry, I forgot her name, unfortunately. She does the bigger events. So she does like more of the dating. Like, so she'll do the, what's it called? Like when I haven't done it in a while because I'm married. Speed dating?
Yes.
So she does stuff like that and like masses. My approach is basically like last weekend I did two Bumbles events in one day. I did an event with McGill women, the McGill Women in Leadership Society.
Okay.
So I talked to them about networking and business. So that was the Bumble Biz event that I did. It was like for about 55 girls.
Yeah.
And then I went straight from McGill to a restaurant where there were about 20 girls talking about anxiety and food and, you know, and that was a Bumble BFF event. And there were girls who were meeting each other for the first time and they were talking about their insecurities with food, and I had a nutritionist there. So I'm trying to do more of a movement, like more of like showing like the benefits of the app and why it's important, and it's pretty cool. So when they reached out to me, it was because of how diverse my background is, meaning in fitness and then in business, and then I do love networking and I love connecting people. It's like one of my things. If I find someone, they're like, oh, I want to start a coffee shop. Oh, I know a guy who imports coffee beans. Maybe you guys should talk, and I'll connect them. And it's nothing for me. It's just something that I wish I had when I first moved here.
Yes.
I had to find everything on my own. And it gets kind of you feel defeated when you don't know people.
And it's even harder in a big city. Well, any big cities, just because there's so much competition, right?
Right, that's it.
So
I get random emails. Hey, Drea, I know that you're really busy. I'm starting a jewelry company. Do you know someone who could help me? Oh, actually, I know a person who has like one of the most successful jewelry companies here. Boom. Let me connect you. So I like to do things from the back, you know, and it's just because I wish I had that help.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like giving back in a very good way.
For somehow I did it for someone who worked at Bumble, and they remembered it when they moved to Toronto. And they're like, I have the girl that we should hook up in Montreal. And then that's how it happened.
That's why you were Influencer of the Year. No, but I'm serious. I mean, like, that's the kind of love that people want to see, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So, like, through the Bumble app, I mean, women must have been, like, I don't know, like, the outcome of it, but do you guys had success stories actually that happened in, like, with that new system?
Yeah, so I personally witnessed people meeting on Bumble, and now they're like dating for years, like 2 years, and they're going to get married. Yeah. Bumble BFF, through my events, I've witnessed girls who are still friends. Yeah. And now they're like BFFs on Insta. And Bumble networking, I think one of my best networking events was at WeWorks, and I had put a real estate agent in touch with this girl who is developing a land out north. And he's actually basically just got her like 15 acres of land. Like, there's actually things that happen from this app that are pretty...
A lot more than Tinder.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Come on. I see Bumble Biz replacing LinkedIn eventually.
Really?
Side effect. Yeah, like you're here, you're just boom, boom, boom. It's automatic.
I kind of like, I'm on and off of LinkedIn. Like, I go there every like 4 or 6 months. It's just boring. I think like once every 6 months I'm on LinkedIn. It's boring, and then it's just like the automated like emails. Yeah, shit.
It's like annoying.
Yeah.
But here, like, I'm looking for a photographer, and I need someone. Swipe, videographer. Boom, click.
Does it cost anything?
Nope, it's free.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
You're gonna get on now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting. I didn't know that there was like the BFF and the biz part, right? Yeah. So that's like, that makes it quite interesting. You can create these opportunities for yourself, really more into a broad range, right? And maybe things that you didn't even think about because people approach you for some reason. Exactly. Probably. Huh. To see. Awesome. Yeah. And so it also it has a positive impact, but like how do you think it's going to evolve through like do you think all these other dating apps are going to kind of like get off eventually?
I think so. I think that Bumble is going to become like the next, let's say, McDonald's or Walmart. You can't compete with the mega,
right?
You know, because now they're starting Bumble Honey, I think, and that's is it honey or Bumble Bees? But it's for universities and girls in university. They're like just taking over, and then next thing you know, it's going to be Bumble Mom.
All the moms together.
All the moms together. Yeah, they're gonna take over those are like the main like demographics, the main hubs. Like they're just gonna get everyone, and no one's gonna be able to really compete with it because the men want to go where the women are.
Yeah,
and the women want to be somewhere where they have control. Let's be for real.
But nowadays, like I've been with my girlfriend for the past 7 years. I hope I didn't mess that. I hope that didn't mess that up. I'm gonna know. And
she's gonna start counting.
But like honestly, I wouldn't know where to start.
See.
Now, like back at, like when I met her, it was probably, I think I started using Facebook.
Wow.
Remember? Well, maybe not. Maybe, yeah. Well, it was starting to be like something. It was still at that time where it was, you would chat a lot on Facebook, and people were actually putting only pictures, and there wasn't that many businesses on it.
Yeah. Now I don't even think do you even go on Facebook that often now?
Oh yeah, I do a lot, but for my business part, like I don't do anything on my personal profile almost.
Me either.
So it's all my page.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, but
things are changing.
But like at the time that social media was starting, so it wasn't even a thing yet. I was probably not on my phone as much, so
yeah.
I was actually meeting people, and that's how we kind of connected in a certain way. Yeah, and it was at the gym.
I met my husband in the club.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Dancing. He got you with his moves.
No, not even.
No?
I wasn't dancing. He's like, I saw you from across the room.
So you see that's how it worked back then, right?
You know what's interesting? Yeah, that's it. Is that when I'm on the app, it was just like, oh, this is how they feel on dating apps. Because I never got a chance to do it, right? Yeah. So when you're on the business app, and I think that's why more and more people are going on, just to simply be able to do that kind of like movement and vibe and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's the swipe, and I enjoy it. And it's like, oh my god, you matched with this woman who does blah 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 at this company. You're like,
yeah,
it feels great.
That's weird though.
I know. I know. Like, look, I'll show you. And it's very, because my friends sometimes go on my phone, they're like, why do you have Bumble on your app? You know, but you go on the Bumble app and then you go straight to the biz. And then I swipe for everyone because I'm like manager here. And then boop.
Got a match.
I got a match. Now, how fun was that? Boop. Come on.
Interesting.
I always swipe, so I always swipe that way. Because like I can't not. My husband's like, you can't be the NTL manager and not always swipe. So
like with everything you're into, I mean, and like that. This is one of the reasons why I contacted you and we talked together, because I find that it's pretty consistent what you post and how you like how everything that you show. It's there. It's like it's always in a really proper way. And I have a feeling that how do you feel time consumed with all that stuff into it?
Not that much. So my thing is that I remember I had this one assistant, and I thought that I had to be like everyone else, posting like 100 stories a day in order for people to like engage with me.
Why did you feel that way?
The pressure of just being out there and people knowing you, and it was just pressure at the beginning.
And it wasn't making actually a difference. It wasn't making a difference?
No.
Yeah.
And I find that eventually, in my old assistant, she's like often doing bigger and better things. Miss you, Phoebe. She told me, people don't really like need that from you. Like if you just post solid things that people will actually read and actually be interested in, that's more. Because I personally don't like talking into my camera.
I find it so weird.
It's so weird. I need to get a Kleenex. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
I find it so weird, and when people do it... Oh, wait.
I did that... Yeah, so I did that last week, though. Not last week.
Yeah.
What was it? So, couple on April Fools, I wanted to do this April Fool joke, so I said on my business page that we were opening Smith gyms all over the world. And it was just like I said Montreal because I'm here. I just came back from Bangkok, so I wrote Bangkok. My girlfriend was in Paris 3 weeks ago for Handball Canada, so I wrote Paris. So it was just like everything was kind of
it made sense.
Made sense, and then I added Sydney and Los Angeles, just so like.
Oh, those are good. It's like a solid like little.
And it was just 5 gyms. It was like 10 or 20 there, right?
Yeah.
So it was like it could have been probably. And on my post was like, oh, you met the right investors and everything like that. And it got really rad. I got 3 job applications. A bunch of people were writing me, when are you gonna open? How can I go train there?
Oh my god!
And I was just like, holy shit! Like, and I would answer him with the job applications. I wrote like a nice email, but for the other people, I just like answered them a fish, right? And they were like, you fooled me, right? And so I did a post like the day after, like I did a story talking, like this isn't true.
You know, some people do that though, that just to like get the buzz out. Like I know people who will say, oh, I have an idea. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just do this and like talk and like put it out there. And if people like it, we're actually gonna make it happen. That's very common.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know, like I just post when I want to post. Like sometimes my posts will go out like on my feed every other day, maybe every day, or maybe I'll do 2 in one day depending on how I post. Or sometimes I'm just like, I don't have anything to say right now. I think the last time I posted was almost a week ago.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have anything to do or anything to say. So I try to like just stay true to when I really want to get things out there. And then for my stories, I realized that I'd rather have people actually tap on it and read it.
Yes.
Than just...
Yeah.
Because I even do that to some of my friends. Like if it's like 30 or 60 dots up there, I'm just like,
fuck this.
Yeah, you don't really look at it. But you have to show that you're looking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like last night, I was just like bored and my mom wasn't answering my phone call. So I just started texting her, knowing that my mom already thinks I'm weird. And so I was asking her stupid questions.
And where is she? Your mom?
She's in Virginia.
Okay. So you don't see her too often?
No. And like now I'm getting better now. Like I go home more often, but like what size was I in? What size shoe did I wear in 1991? What pants did I wear in 1999? I was like, do I have all my vaccines? This is a life or death question, actually.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
And it was like, what was the first solid food I ate? And I was on the phone with like one of my best friends asking her questions. She's like, oh, and because she just had a baby, she's like, oh, you should also ask, like, boom, boom, boom. And they were just going, because I knew she'd be so pissed. And then I saw her typing, and I was like, trying to get more out.
Oh my God. So she did answer you.
She's like, I'll call you.
Wow.
In a few. And then I was just like, I was in trouble. She answered all my questions. She ignored. She's like, I'm not answering that. I'm just going to ignore your stupid ass question. I was like, okay. But then I shared it because I'm like, I wonder if other people do this with their parents. And I woke up this morning to almost like 500 comments. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's crazy.
It's more about stuff like that that's just random and just actually means something to me.
I love what you just said, because like even if you would, there's a difference if you'd go at the gym and train and then film content while you're training, like during your rest periods or like afterwards, or actually like set up a day and like, okay, I'm doing all these content, and it makes a big difference.
Like
yeah,
it's more, and I find that that's the difference. Like, I have friends who do that, and they organize everything. For me, it's just, like, in California, one of my pictures was just me jumping, and this old woman was behind me. And she's like, I want to jump, too. I was like, okay, come jump. And she jumped. And that was what I posted. And people were like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it just happened like that. And I find that I don't really care.
Yeah, you could see the difference between somebody that does that or doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Because someone else would have said, no, I'm sorry, I just need this content on my own. Did you see? I have to show you this picture. You're gonna die. And she's so happy. It like made her day. You could tell. She's like, I want to jump. I was like, come jump.
That is cool. That is awesome. What? That is awesome. That's crazy. So with all these things you're implicated in, how do you stay so fit, right? Like, did you change your training methodology, like on yourself, or you train home?
I train at home right now.
Wow.
And if I can't, like, yeah, even when I was teaching classes, like, it was very difficult for me to actually. I don't do the class.
Right.
Like, because I remember there's this one thing I posted, and it was about pregnancy and fertility and stuff like that, and like I got some of the meanest messages, like, you work out too much, this and that, whatever. I'm like, actually, I give classes, but I don't do the workout. I only do about
a third
of it.
Yeah.
You know, like occasionally I'll get on the bike and do a sprint, or I do this or that. But now that it's nice, I'm just gonna go to the mountain, go running. I have my kettlebell there, so I do kettlebell abs stuff at home while watching Dynasty.
Right.
That's how.
And did across the years you changed your way of training with like your schedule and all that? Like, what was your favorite moment of training for yourself? Like, what was your thing?
It would have to be last week when I randomly just did a kettlebell workout on my own on a Saturday because I didn't have to wake up at 9 a.m. and teach classes.
Right.
I think this is the first time in my life since I was 7 that I haven't had a workout, like a practice throughout the week at night, and I haven't had a competition on a Saturday or something I had to do on a Saturday.
Right.
Because I've ran track since I was 7.
Oh, so you're a track athlete before?
Yeah.
You were you pretty competitive?
Very. Like, I was top in the state of Texas, and then we moved to Virginia because my stepdad got a job, my pots, and I was the state champion in Virginia. That's what led me to my scholarship in Michigan.
Okay, you just love running.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to NCAAs, and, like, I was intense. Like, people don't know that about me.
No, I want to know more about that.
Yeah. I ran track all my life. And so since I was 7, I always had school, and then you go to track practice. After track practice, Friday, I've always had it as, like, my day of, like, prepping for the track meets.
Yeah.
Saturday was always my track meet dates. Like, I've always done something 6 days of the week training.
And what years were that? Like, did you was it in that period of time where a lot of track athletes were getting into strength training as well? And yeah. So you're right into that.
Oh, I was doing Olympic lifting in high school, not high school even, middle school. My junior high school.
Okay. We
were sponsored by DREA'S in Texas. It's like another level.
How many strength days have you guys had through compared to track trainings?
We have 2 strength days.
Okay, 2 strength days. And
it was usually Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
And then Monday was usually our hard, like the way that our workouts go is they're divided by, and I used to do this for my classes when I was training, but it's so difficult to maintain it because all the other trainers are set up a different way, right? So you have your heavy week.
Yeah.
You have your strength week. Heavy meaning like
building.
Not even mobility, like
building to like a max.
Like that's when we're doing 4x4 400s, like heavy in terms of like distance and like for track. Like that's gonna build up your endurance type thing. After that, we have our basically our strength week. Yeah. In that week, we're doing heavy lifting. Okay. And then we're probably doing just like plyometric workouts. Okay. Like on the field. After that, our third week, that's our speed week. So we're going lighter on the weights. We're just doing speed work. Boom, 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 boom. We're just getting the speed in. Fourth week is our recovery week. Okay. So nice we're doing like the Indian run. Like we're just chilling.
Is that your, like your, so
that's how I've always trained since I was 7.
So those, across those like 4 weeks, only on the 4th week you guys would go out for longer runs more aerobically.
That 4th week was usually when, yeah, pretty much.
And the other weeks you didn't even touch to like aerobic work?
No.
Wow. But you what was the longest distance that you would run across those 3 weeks of building up?
The first week, our coaches would sometimes give me maybe 800.
Okay.
2 loops. And like you're doing that, but
That's
you're having
a nasty
to,
one.
I know.
800,
You're
I
having to
hated that
hit
shit.
that time, right? So you know what I mean? When we start with the 8, then we'll go to a 6, then we'll go to a 4, then we'll do 3, and then we'll do 250, then we'll do 2, and then we'll do 150, then we'll do 1, and then we'll do a 50.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, and what was your favorite distance when you would compete? What was the ones you were outlined a little bit more?
100 hurdles.
Oh, yeah?
That was my thing.
Huh.
That was my shtick.
So you're a fast twitch muscle girl.
Oh, big time.
You're not into the Ironman stuff.
No. And like occasionally I would do the 400 hurdles, but I hated them. Hated them. It was good, but I just like...
How long is that?
It's the whole track.
But how long does it take, like, with the hurdle?
It depends on how good you are. I
Yeah.
could do it in about 57, 58 seconds. Oh, and that's like literally I remember going to like the last 2 hurdles and just feeling like, how am I going to get my leg up?
Right.
And then, I did it.
So
and then
that's
you're
why-
just like basically using your arms and you're just in your mind like, there's just that one more hurdle. How am I going? Oh, I did it. Okay.
Right. Holy shit.
And you finish, and it's probably the hardest race for sure. I've done the pentathlon, indoor track, because we needed it for points. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I've done the pent, and I've had to do the 800. That's our last event, right? And I would say the 400 hurdles is harder than the 800.
Wow. And did you, in your category, did you do the mile run as well?
No.
So that was out of the question.
Yeah.
But did some athletes in track do that?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. So it was like another category. So
Yeah, yeah.
there would be 800 and less.
The
and-
people who would do the mile are more like the ones who are doing like the 3K to 1500, like stuff like that. It's always 1500. And they're doing like the 3K steeplechase or something like that. But like, I would say 800 down is more like sprinters.
Right. And how did you get into that? Your parents, did they do that when they were younger, or you kind of like just got interested into doing track?
Very interesting. My mom kind of dabbled in it. My pops was a football player. He went to university for football. No,
Okay,
they
genetics.
just wanted me to they just wanted me to be in track. So we were just put in track. My older sister was put in track, and then I was put in track.
It's not that popular here.
No, and that's been like one of my movements that I'm trying to do right now is organize after school sports more here.
Right.
It's actually
There's no tracks. Like there's one close to where I live, and they
I
closed
coached-
it for 2 years.
I coached at McGill, but even the McGill track is like a square. It's like a box.
It's not around.
It's not around.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not like an actual track.
And outside.
Yeah.
There's none outside around here. Are there?
There's one out east that's beautiful, actually, off of Ontario.
Yeah.
And you go up this hill, and it's there, and it's actually brand new. I used to work out there and train there with some of my athletes off season. No, they have a dirt one at Westmont High. No.
When you go and
Oh, there's one here. Oh,
okay.
it's a dirt track, though. Still
Yeah.
not the same.
But the one they had on Beaubien was amazing, but they
Yes.
closed it for 2 years.
I know.
And I hope that they're going to open it up this summer.
Everyone usually has to go to Crémazie.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Robillard. Yeah. But when you get it back into you do these things, is it like the passion coming back, or is it because I remember swimming 16 hours a week, and like when I go in the water now, I just like I can't stand it. Like
Yeah.
I'll go because like it makes me feel good, but I won't be able to swim more than 40 minutes. Does that do that to you when you go running on the track? Does it like make you sick because you did it too much, or you love it?
I think now, I think before I was sick of it, and that's why I got more into like the classes,
Yeah.
like the fitness classes and stuff like that. And that was like my whole, okay, it's my break. Now I'm excited to go running.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to like once it gets really nice to just go do hill runs and stuff like that.
But aren't you comparing yourself with the old Andrea? Well, that was
100%.
That's hard. Because obviously, like it was like your prime time. You're
Yeah.
young, you recover like that. I mean, you're training pretty
I'm
much.
smarter now though, so I wouldn't go and run every single day, right?
You did that,
Yeah.
even on the string days, in the gym days. Sorry.
Man, yeah, like I was crazy. Like I needed that out. That was my outlet.
Right.
Right? And I remember my roommates would sometimes say, Dre, do you want to go do some hang cleans? And I was like, yeah, that feels so good.
Yeah.
And we go to the gym and we just do some
Hang cleans.
hang cleans. While everyone else is drinking, we were doing hang clings.
Nice. That's good though.
Yeah.
How old were you at that time?
University. 20.
Okay.
18, 20. Yeah.
Huh. It's kind of a different way in university in the States when you're an athlete, right?
Oh, yeah. I had like a good life. It's awesome.
Yeah. You have like some people are founded, right? Like they don't even pay for school if they're good athletes, right?
Well, I didn't pay for school.
Wow.
Like I remember every year I'd get my papers, and it'd be like $45,000. Sign here.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
What
then
did you study in?
I studied in criminology, psychology, and sociology. Pretty cool, huh?
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Definitely not doing that right now. However, I think that's why I always think like more. I think differently than other people.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I see the worst in everyone.
Yeah. Well, I did this other podcast with Miles, and he studied in exercise science, but he actually got back into school for psychology.
Oh man.
Because he wanted to get that different push, right? So.
Yeah, I always think like the worst of people because I studied some of the craziest cases.
Yeah, obviously you've done that.
Yeah, like I parked my car right in the front so that I could before. Crazy stuff happens that people don't know about in the city of Montreal, but I'm the person that finds it.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like, did you know there was a serial killer that lived in this neighborhood?
Really?
Yeah. He's a serial killer from Ontario, was released, and then serial rapist, and then moved right in the hub of like Miguel Ghetto.
Huh.
See?
Yeah, you don't know that shit.
No, people don't know that.
But I think Montreal is underrated about criminal activities.
Making you wonder.
Well,
now.
people know about the mafia and about all that stuff.
But they don't really know about like a crazy serial rapist that just got out of jail that's living like downtown Montreal.
No, right. And he's still here.
He's still there.
Okay. Interesting.
In the neighborhood. I was trying to find a picture with one of my girlfriends to see like what he looks like now so I can just yell, rapist! Everyone needs to know. So serious.
So if we get into, I have three questions, and we could go off after that on whatever we want. But I think you're gonna be good with these.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you have like the answer to all these questions very easily. So if you'd have a theme song that would represent you every time you come in a new room, what would that be?
Started from the bottom down here.
Oh shit! See, like that's really quick.
I always had this dream, and I've had the same dream a number of times that I'm in this like massive like Bell Center kind of like theater, and I'm going up to talk
with Drake.
No, just the music plays.
Okay.
Like that's my theme song, because like I've always wanted to just empower people and just like, you know, tell my story without forcing it. Like I feel like it should be something that just happens, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like Drea Wheeler, and I come up and that's my song, and I'm just dancing on the stage.
That's a nice. I like that ambition of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have the same dream every single time, and started from the bottom. It's playing. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Do you feel that you're working? You have like this ambition of like creating something for yourself and for others, and that it's like you're through the process right now, and it's kind of like building up slowly, and you feeling maybe that some things you need to move around and to get to somewhere. Or
I feel like once I feel, I've got to the point now in my career, and I've had so many times, like I've had to close companies, I've had to close businesses because, and, you know, like I've had to accept failure, like a couple of times where you just learn from it.
Yeah.
That now I've realized that if it becomes too difficult, like if I'm pushing too hard for something, that's a sign. And like I need to move on to like something else that comes a bit easier.
It needs to be smooth.
It has to be smooth for me.
Yeah.
Like I can't. And like for about a year and a half there, I was just pushing and hoping people could see my vision. And I've realized now that like there's signs here. Like I shouldn't be pushing for this something. I need to. And it's crazy. As soon as like
Yeah.
I took a little move.
Yeah. Makes it better. But when do you get that threshold? What happens that makes you
I
kind
think
of...
everyone's different, but for me, it always happens to where I'm sitting on my couch, or like maybe I'm talking to my husband or something, and I'm just telling him, I don't think this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, I don't think...
Like, that's that moment.
Yeah. And it could be like big... I've done this for big deals that come to me in terms of like partnerships and collaborations and stuff. And if it's really not something that comes easy, I'll say no. I
feel that every time I go on a trip, that happens to me.
It eats at you, man. Like when you know that's not you, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
And I've learned to listen to my instincts. And every time I've gone against my instincts, I've like been burnt.
Yeah, you have to feel your guts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to, and now I'm just like, I really do need to listen to my gut. And although people will say it's the best thing for you should do it, I'll say no. And I'll give them like another option. Like, you know what, that doesn't work for me, but this person will do very well. Or like, this is the route that you should go. So I'll always try to help them in finding another solution, but it's not me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just the maturity of the age that makes that happen.
I don't know, because there's some people that I found that I'm 32 that are younger than me who've gone through some crazy stuff that are like that as well. Yourself.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think it has anything to do with age. I think it has something to do with experience. And everyone experiences certain things at different parts of their life. Right?
Yeah.
So someone who's like 22 maybe went through the ringer all their lives or something like that. And they're just like able to make these decisions easier than maybe someone who's 50 who's never had to do anything or go through anything.
Yeah. I like that. Next question.
Okay.
Your favorite athlete of all time?
Jackie Jordan Kersey.
Who's that?
She's a track runner.
Oh, okay. I'll try to find that
out. She was like pretty and like savage.
Track athlete right now or used to be?
No, used to be.
Okay.
Beyonce went as her last year for Halloween. She was known like for her long nails, and they were always red, and like she was always like full makeup on, and she was a hurdler like me. And she died suddenly. I think she had like an aneurysm or something. But like, yeah, favorite.
Nice.
Because she like had so much. She did a lot of stuff in the back that people didn't know about, but just for her community. That was phenomenal. That's still going on. Some of the movements that she started for young girls and sports and stuff. And yet she was able to combine the beauty and the sport of track and like not get flack. Like people didn't say, oh, she's too pretty to run, or like she looks too like muscular or something like that. People are like, gosh, she's like a beautiful runner.
There's this girl, she's a CrossFitter. Her sister does track, and it reminds me of that type of feeling. She's really pretty and yeah.
Jackie Jordan Kersey.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Last one. If you'd have another country you'd like to live in, apart from the States or Canada, which one would it be?
It's so funny. I've really been thinking about this because I would never go back to the States.
Really?
Yeah, my mom always says, been there, done that.
Okay.
Like, why would you go back to something that, like...
You left. Right.
And then, I mean, Canada, but, like, if I'm going to leave another country or another place, I wouldn't go somewhere else here.
You like Canada, though?
Canada's pretty chill.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I like to, like, swing that, like, passport around. I would probably go somewhere in Europe. Yeah.
Eastern Europe?
I don't know. Or maybe the Middle East.
Really?
Yeah, I lived in like Bahrain for a bit.
In what?
Bahrain.
Okay.
And I used to travel, and like I partied a lot in like Dubai and Doha and stuff like that. And I find that they're in. My husband has a friend that's about to live there now for work with his wife. And I did my research recently, and they're at a point where they're starting to open up so many options for women now, because women have been suppressed there for so long. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to start, like, I'd like to lead the industry and like start like the first like female training center or female this or whatever.
Or Bumble over there.
Yeah, man.
I saw Tony Robbins was there a couple weeks ago, and I heard something that he said that I never realized about Dubai and Abu Dhabi and that area, is that they really believed in the growth of their country, and it started from nothing pretty much. It was a desert, and it's massive now.
Huge.
It's crazy, and it's so rich.
Yeah.
But they started from nothing.
Nothing. See,
And they
started
kind of like
from the bottom.
yeah, but like that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
the growth they had.
And how fast it went.
Yeah, and Uber's there now.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Uber, and big companies now, like the digital.
I'm telling you, like it's gonna be like the new thing.
We'll maybe find you there once.
Yeah.
Where can we find you?
You can find me online,
Yeah.
DreaWheeler.com.
Okay.
Or Instagram on Drea_Wheeler.
Yeah.
Or you can just find me roaming the streets of Montreal.
And is there any book coming up, or what's
Weird
what's
you asked
coming
that.
up?
Someone just asked me that last night. Hey Drea, are you gonna write a book about like your story? And I was like, who would want to read about my story?
It's cool.
Interesting. No one really knows my story, right?
Well, you can already start and then you can finish in a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like I should. All the shit that I've gone through.
Yeah.
Even in terms of like business and like people around me and stuff, I've learned so much.
Yeah, and you could talk about your track career that I wasn't even aware of, right? Yeah, you do a massive throwback and.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm definitely going to share this and people can learn a little bit more about me.
What? She was a track athlete?
I know, it's so weird. Like, when people find out, they're just like, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. That was
Boom.
good.
Cheers.